Don in London. Hello. February the 2nd, 2010. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol, my addictive behaviours, work, relationships, collecting, materialism, you name it, all part of the consumer society in which we live. And I guess all of that was about often filling a gap inside me. Not quite sure what the gap was for, not quite sure why I felt fearful about many things in life. I'm not quite sure about life in general, and that went on for quite a long time. I just wanted to fit in, be included, get married, have children, do all the things which are considered normal. But for some reason, and I never knew really what it was, I was fearful, and I suspect it was because I just didn't know how to live life sober and experience what was going on in the moment and be happy, just to be happy with the way things are. So it's been a bit of a struggle to find a bit of serenity along the way. And what helps me to stay in recovery these days? Well, family, community, professionals, and a fellowship called AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. So my drinking story is long, 35 years. Started convivial, joyful, happy, able to experience feelings, remove the fear so I could be more outgoing and included, and then caught in the grip of dependency. And I don't know when the dependency started. I do know when the addiction was in full flow, which was in this century, and I couldn't stop. So I became a 24/7 drinker, and from being a fairly affluent and okay person in the 90s, by the end of the 90s I'd lost everything, was in the gutter and staring at the world and judging it from there. And why? And simply, I just didn't understand life. So the journey back into recovery, a place where I don't drink a day at a time, and then add the days together, has taken a while to get there. But the gift is, as we get into recovery, we start to see the solution is living in the day, understanding who we are on a daily basis. I start my day off by knowing very little about who I am, and by the end of it I know a bit more. So it is a cumulative thing. And as I go through each day, I look to the good of what can be done, rather than the problem that I used to be. So, quite a big change. And how do we make changes, in attitudes and behaviour, which are so ingrained we just don't know how to stop doing them? And that's the nature of addiction. We don't know how to stop. If we knew how to stop, we wouldn't be doing it, would we? So there is a form of insanity involved in this. And the fellowship of AA has given me an understanding of what I may do to make life work, or rather to live life as it is, rather than make it work. Make it work implies that I'm in control. And actually the only thing I have on a daily basis is choices to be included, and how to be included, and how to be open about that. And if I try and control it again, I run into the risk of getting loads of problems where if I think I'm in charge, it could all go horribly wrong, or horrible for me and other people who know me. So these days I like to fit in, but that doesn't mean I have to conform to a pattern of behaviour as others are. It means I find a pattern of behaviour where I get the choices which are conducive to living well in the moment of now. So AA is all part of it, and the fellowship, well, in the fellowship we say get sober, stay sober, and lean on fellowship to keep sober. And if we do that, then the rest of life can work. So what does AA do for me? There's a statement of intent which is shared at every meeting, and it's called the AA Preamble, and it goes like this, and this is it. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So, one requirement for going, a desire to stop drinking, and for stopping and staying, a desire to help other people find recovery as well. So that we are all in the same place, on the same day, all with our unique, authentic outlook. Not special and different though, we're all equal in our own view, I hope. But and hopefully that stops us judging other people, because what we judge in others is what is mirrored in us, which we don't like. And often that's the things we do, and those are the problems we head back for when we start to get judgmental about our life and the situation we are in. So, books of AA help me, and I share some of them here. Daily Reflections, this one. It's a 1 page a day, and it shares in line with the 12 steps of the action program for people in the program. 12 steps of action to change attitude and behaviour. So it's all about step 2 in February. Step 2 is covered in more detail in this one, the 12 steps and 12 traditions. And I'll just read the first paragraph of step 2, which says here, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity, which means that having tried abysmally on our own to crack the problem of drinking too much and failed, that is, we are powerless over alcohol and life is unmanageable when we drink because we just can't stop. What next? So, what is this higher power? And it goes on to say, the moment they read step 2, most AA newcomers are confronted with a dilemma, sometimes a serious one. How often have we heard them cry out, look what you people have done to us. You have convinced us that we are alcoholics and that our lives are unmanageable. Having reduced us to a state of absolute helplessness, you now declare that none but a higher power can remove our obsession. Some of us won't believe in God, others can't, and still others who do believe in God, do believe that God exists, have no faith whatever. He will perform this miracle. Yes, you've got us over a barrel all right, but where do we go from here? And it can be quite difficult, really, because, what is a higher power than us? When we were drinking, we were so inward-looking, we could only see what was in our heads, and we wouldn't let anybody in. So I've learned what works for me is simple. Truth of now, hearing the truth from other people, and love from other people, and loving other people. So that's my higher power. God is truth, as Gandhi said, for me. God is love, and God works through people. So if I am open to what other people have to say and can hear their wisdom, their experience and hope, I'm in with a chance of finding how to stay in recovery. And it can be more simple than that, just having higher power, which is AA, the AA group, which is full of wisdom. So when I turn to February 2nd, if I've got time for it, I think I have, in this book, Daily Reflections, I think something's happened to my camera, but we'll see how we go. It says, rescued by surrendering. Characteristic of the so-called typical alcoholic is a narcissistic, egocentric core. In other words, we're self-centered and self-obsessed, dominated by feelings of omnipotence, intent on maintaining at all costs its inner integrity. Inwardly, the alcoholic brooks no control from man nor God. He, the alcoholic, is and must be the master of his destiny. He will fight to the end to preserve that position. And there is another paragraph which I haven't got time for, but it is on my Facebook and elsewhere on the internet. Rescued by surrendering, which means I don't know everything, never can, never will, and to deny that there is wisdom, experience, strength and hope out there which can help us solve our common problem, which is to stay sober, would be a bit silly. It could be a bit difficult, and it could kill us. So acceptance is important to me, always, of the truth of now. That's my higher power, because I need to find out what the truth is, and often I don't know what it is. So that serenity prayer, which I share at the end of these videos, helps me a lot, all day long. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, for me, is just for today.